Have you ever wondered what is inside of a humidity meter, an analog humidity meter, which is this thing over here? Well, we are going to take a look at that today. Now, first of all, you may be wondering, why is this video going up on the gaming channel rather than the Peculiar Pine Tree channel? Well, the reason for that is just because this video partly is a follow-up to a video I did before on the gaming channel before the Peculiar Pine Tree channel existed. So since the follow-up, it's going on the same channel. You may notice something odd about this humidity meter, this one over here. The needle is very much in the wrong place. The reason for that is, turns out this meter is actually broken. So, it was, when I did the previous humidity meter video, which will be in the, somewhere around this video, maybe in the cards or in the description or in somewhere. But anyways, when I did that video, it was 100% humidity, it was crazy and stuff like that. And then I was thinking, wait a minute, we've had this thing for at least maybe 15 years or something, and seems to me it fell off a shelf at one point. So I went and checked it out inside, and yeah, the mechanism was actually broken a little bit. It still sort of works, but it was dislocated and stuff like that, possibly bent a bit, and so it's okay, so when it was 100% humidity, maybe it wasn't quite 100%, but what humidity was it? So, I went out and bought another humidity meter, and it said some different numbers and stuff, but the trouble was that right after I had bought this humidity meter, it turns out, so when that previous video where this one was showing 100% humidity, there was a really big storm outside, and if I remember it had been a storm for several days, and so the humidity had really made it into the house and stuff like that. And so I'm okay, so this shows a different number, so I'm going to wait, because by the time I bought this, it was clear skies and everything again, so I'm okay, I'm going to wait until there's another big storm. And that never came. It never came. We had some storms, yes, but they were all one afternoon or maybe a full day. None of them had been around for a long period of time, several days straight of storm. None of them did that. And so I'm oh, okay, so I guess we can't find out how these two were comparing at the time. Speaking about the 100% humidity thing, looking on weather reports and stuff like that, it was 100% outside. That's what the weather reports said. But trying to make that into the house, you'd need a storm for a lot longer than just one afternoon, probably. Anyways, let's take a look inside a humidity meter. This one, I don't really want to open it up because I don't want to damage it. But this one, seeing as it's already damaged, let's go ahead and take a look inside. The mechanism still looks the same, it's just a little bit bent and things, and we shall get to that right now. So first of all, let's open it and get inside it, and then let's talk about a little bit of what I know, at least, about how this works, and if you guys know any more, then you can let the rest of us know as well. But anyways, so here, we have the humidity meter. It is all encased in a case. That's kind of what you encase things in, is a case. But anyways, if we go ahead and pop it out of the corners and stuff, there's little places that hold it in place, and there we go. So now, we've got the front cover off. That is simple. It's got no difference to the effect of the meter at all. But anyways, in here, this is a sheet of, I wonder if this has any humidity conductive properties or something, because it's odd. It's feels like metal, but it feels like paper, but it feels like, I don't know what it feels like, but it's weird. But anyways, on the back here, this side is the humidity meter. On the back here, let's get this out of the way as well. Whoa, don't fall down. Okay. Yeah, no, don't fall on the floor. Stay where you're supposed to be. Okay, on the back here, this is, as you can see, very, very thin. This is the device that keeps the humidity meter working. So basically what it does is this, the way it's supposed to work, this thing goes and sticks inside. There's a little, if you can see that, there's a little notch in this metal clamp here, and so you just stick this inside here, and that's the way it's supposed to work. And then on the other side, you can see that the meter is in that position, which is a bit of a problem because it's also bent, apparently, because if you look at the other meter to compare it to, this meter says 60 plus a bit %, whereas this says 80. Something odd about this one is I've found as the storms have come up and it's gotten a little bit higher, the one in the back there, it's gotten a little bit higher. It's gotten sometimes to 80 with the storms that we've had, as I've explained the storms and stuff, and bigger and smaller and stuff. But when storms were happening and things, the smaller ones that I was talking about, it was unclear. It seemed as if this one wouldn't change as much as this one would. So this one would go from 60 way down to like 80 or 85 or even farther, whereas this one wouldn't move as far. I'm not entirely sure if it was moving less far, but it seemed like it was just like when you get down into the lower humidities, like on the back one there, this one would actually be closer than it is right now. I'm not sure if that is exactly the case, but something like that. But anyways, as you can see, this one is way out of measurement on the lower humidities. And what I remember is that this one never actually, in the past years, it never actually went lower than 80%. So I guess it was just kind of because of maybe the way this thing is bent or something like that. It was never actually able to raise higher than 80%. So that's a little bit weird. But anyways, as you can see back there, there's this coil which appears to be bent. This one is for the thermometer, and it appears it has the same kind of idea. If you can see that, let's focus the camera, please. Thank you. Focus. Thank you very much. Okay. This one has a similar kind of notch in the metal there to put the thing through. But as you can sort of see, no, you can't see because it's too dark. What's wrong with? Come on, get some light on the subject. Work. Let's turn it this way. Maybe. Is that gonna work? Is that gonna work? Is that gonna work? Yes, it worked. As you can see, the metal is not really this clamp here compared to the coil. There's kind of a gap. It's not really forcing its way in. Whereas this one, it's almost like a spring, like where it naturally wants to stay is. Come on. It naturally seems to want to actually stretch farther than this clamp, because as you can see right there, it's just about in line with the clamp, which means that if we put it farther, it would actually want to extend past the clamp, and so we have to kind of force it in place. Come on, get back in place. So it sort of bends it a bit and stuff like that. So it's not really very good anymore because of getting bent and stuff. But anyways, the way it's supposed to work is very similar to this thermometer. Is that the word? No, it's not. But anyways, this whatever it's called, thermometer, that's what it's called. This thing has a coil, if you can sort of see that there, and the coil goes, and basically on one side of this metal is, you can see that very clearly on the humidity side. On one side of this metal is one kind of metal, and on the other side is a different something or other. And basically what I know about how the thermometers at least work, the analog ones, they have on one side of the metal is a metal that with temperature, metals always stretch and contract and stuff like that based on the temperature. And some metals stretch more than others, and so what they do is they put two different kinds of metals on the different sides, and so then what happens is that it bends differently depending on the temperature because they are two different kinds of metals, and so then that's what moves the thing because it bends differently. And it seems that the humidity meter works the same way, at least for the analog version. I don't know how the digital versions work, but that gives you some idea what's inside a humidity meter. So that's what the inside of a humidity meter looks like. Turns out it was actually kind of broken, and the actual humidity is less and stuff like that. But we went over that in the earlier parts of this video, so I'm not really going to go over that again right now for the sake of time. But anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video and getting to see what is inside a humidity meter. At least the analog kind. I don't know how the digital kind works, but maybe some of you guys happen to know, and you can enlighten the rest of us on this issue. But anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video, and see you later!